Hey guys, I thought I would do a walkthrough for some of the offline Easy Peasy workbooks. This is a full offline Easy Peasy curriculum that you can use without your computer. I utilize the workbooks with the online program. Sometimes we do the online activity and sometimes we do the offline workbook in its place. I have been homeschooling for 6 years. We're getting ready to go into our 7th year of homeschooling. And we have utilized Easy Peasy off and on throughout the years. I really love the program. I think it's very solid. This is what my 7th grader is using this year for language arts. He's using level 6. This is where I felt he needed to be. It's going to get him ready for their 9th grade level, which is a literature and composition. He's right on track. Their level 8 is not really a complete language arts program. It's like kind of like the Good and the Beautiful has their one level 8 year right before high school is a little bit different. So he'll be fine if he does level 6 and level 7 and then goes right into their literature and composition. So here's a closer look at the workbook. Just a little about section, how to use. Here's all of the assignments by day. There's 180 days. And you just have to flip to each page. It says lesson 1, which would be like day 1. Very simple directions. Lesson 2. And this is the full offline program. Some of these worksheets, if there's like a game online that teaches the same concept, he would probably go online and do the game. Lesson 4. And this is for poetry writing. There's a section to write in here. My son would have just typed up the poem. And this is just to do fixing the paragraph for grammar. Here's parts of speech. There's a writing tip down here. This is a writing assignment. Lesson 9, grammar review. Lesson 10, combining sentences. This is the teacher guide that goes along with it, and I do recommend getting this because it's kind of hard to teach the lessons without the teacher guide. And of course, if you utilize the online program with this, you might just need the offline workbook, and then for directions, you can look online. Go straight into the different lessons. It's just little notes to the teacher to try to help you teach it a little bit better. Over here, lesson 7, it says write a short story in your workbook. Get a high five and a hug for every vocabulary word from your reading assignment that you put into your story. So lesson 15, it says, on your worksheet today, you'll be identifying similes. They are similar to metaphors in that they are comparing two unlike things. The difference is that they use the words like or as to do it. You're an ice cube, a metaphor. You're as cold as ice, a simile. When you are done, you'll write a simile that includes an animal. So there are 180 lessons. And then after that, there is an answer key, which I find useful for some things because I'm not the best at grammar, and I like to see answer keys for this. And it's very easy to locate the right lesson and to see the correct answers for it. My 7th grader is using Pre-algebra this year. I have bought the Easy Peasy Pre-algebra program, and I really like to have the offline workbook for it, just so he has somewhere to do his work, and I like to see the breakdown in the answers on the answer key. He ended up using CTC, but he's going to be finishing CTC early for Pre-algebra, so we're probably going to open this up and do a little bit of practice out of these, because I do like this program also. Here's the workbook, and you also definitely need the teacher guide to go with this, because this has all the answers in it. It says how to use this workbook, just a little introduction. There's the answer key and the teacher's guide. And this breaks down each lesson and what's covered in each lesson. And there is 180 lessons. And here's lesson 1. Very easy to follow. The lessons are clearly marked. There's plenty of practice problems, and there is enough room to do some of the work. This is still lesson 1. Here's lesson 2. Plenty of room to do the work. Lesson 2. Lesson 3, and you can see there's a little bit of explanation at the beginning of all the lessons. If you use just this book offline and not the online program, you might need to go to YouTube to watch some videos to explain some concepts to make it easier for your child. So here's the last few lessons. Usually the last few lessons are just practice from what you've learned throughout the year. And then the very back, if you don't have graphing paper, there's graphing paper in the back. The teacher's guide is basically the lessons, but they're small. Very easy to follow along with. And the teacher's guide also gives more explanations if you need more help to teach it to your child. Here's lesson 2. There's lesson 3. Here's a look through of one of their readers. This is the 5th reader, which is the level 5. It's in 2 separate books, so this is just the first half of the school year. These are all the stories that it includes. It includes full books in here and it includes a few short stories. It's very easy to follow along. You just see each lesson and you just have to read everything for the lesson. The beginning is usually poems. And then getting to some of the other lessons. This is 31. There's vocabulary. There's a story. And then this is 32. There really aren't any pictures in here, so it's not a very exciting workbook. So going into the workbooks for my 9th grader, he's using Easy Peasy Literature and Composition 1 this year. I like to buy all of the offline workbooks and then also utilize the online program with it for him as well. He mainly uses offline for the vocabulary. He fills out the workbook and then he goes online to take the tests at the end of each section. So this is for the vocabulary. Here's all the days. It's broken into units. And there's 170 days, it looks like. This is the completion chart. And then for each lesson, I have my son write similes that will remind him of what the vocabulary word is, and it's been working out really well for him. There's lesson 2. It's pretty straightforward. There's always a crossword puzzle. He always does the online review activities. And then here would be the test for the first units, or the quiz. And he does that online also. And then it goes into more words for unit 2. And then the very back is the answer key. So here's the workbook for the offline program for Literature and Composition 1. I've taken it apart and I put it in a 3-ring binder because I like to remove all the pages for the week and just put it on a clipboard for him. So it's kind of taken apart and I don't know if I have everything. I don't have the table of contents anymore. But I'll show you a few lessons. There's lesson 91. Looks like there's a crossword puzzle. Lesson 92. Paragraph writing, which he would be typing that paragraph online if he did do this. Looks like there's a quiz for lesson 92. Lesson 93, more paragraph writing on the Pilgrim's Progress book that they read. Looks like there's another grammar quiz for 93. And then they go into reading 20,000 Leagues after that. And the very end, it looks like lesson 180, there's a final exam that they would take. The high school programs all come with a really handy grading sheet, which I love, and I've removed it from the book. Just makes high school so much easier when you have a grading sheet like this. This is for literature and composition. So that's just about it for the easy peasy offline workbooks. They're really cheap. Most of them are like $10 or less, and they're definitely worth getting, and they're from Amazon. They come really quickly. I hope this is helpful. Bye, guys.